Bologna at the EUF Elite Invite. You are hearing the voices of Ali Thomas and Steph Rapazzo.
I noticed you said the last game and not final.
Yes, so due to a late dropout by a team in the women's division, they were not able to do the standard pool play, bracket play, semi and final. So instead, every team is playing every team here, and this just happens to be the last one of those games.
On paper, you'd understand why the scheduling would have made this the last game of the tournament, because they are the teams that met in Bruges last year for the European crown. Yaka, of course, taking that one, their first ever. Took it away from CUSB, who were two-time former champions the 2 year before that. They want this back, but there were some other teams that messed up this division as we get going in this women's final game on the stream.
So we have Yaka in red starting on offense. Baz and Mundio, the core handler set for this team. And it's an early turnover that will just bounce off the hands. CUSB with an early chance to break. We've got Harris picking up the disc. Slightly static in the middle of the field. Dumps back to Harris. She's an American import that Shout have picked up. Stall count is rising. And that's a hand block from LeBon, but looks like Harris is going to call a foul. LeBon immediately contests.
Tough one. Point blank hand block. There's always was that in my head. My opinion, and if we get another look, I'd be happy to see it. But is that hand block should stand? She was in the throwing motion. She had opened her hand. Another look would be great, but it is contested and coming back. Oh no, it's retracted. I believe she's about to touch the disc down on the ground. I am wrong. She picks it up, and it was contested. That means.
So we are back in play here. Oh, flying by, but unable to get the block on Tarason. Oh, who cannot find Sorrenti upfield. So Yaka picking up immediately, and a big floaty shot goes. Oh, and cannot be hung on to by Van Week. And it will be an uncontested foul. So Van Week will have it from the front of the end zone. She picks the disc up, puts it back down again. Just, I think, explaining what's happened. She walks the disc to the front. Yaka streaming through. Dumps round to Maietta. Not a huge amount of movement. Mondio trying to help her out, and a foul, I think, will be called. Sorrenti might argue that she was holding her position and that Maietta moved into her. Always a tough one. So a retracted foul call from Delaval. Coming in, stalling 2. Big fake. And another one. A shot through the middle. Looks like everyone looked like they could have had a piece of it. But it is Harris who will be picking it up and bringing it to the front of the end zone once more.
Parted the seas there. She threw it down the middle and everybody went the other way, it seemed.
The Red Sea, indeed. Tarason finds Sorrenti in the middle. Sorrenti opens up, but not quite enough force on it. It will fall to the ground too far in front of Marchesini to adapt to. So Mondio.
Off balance huck there for Sorrenti. Couldn't get too much behind it.
Mondio. Yaka and Flo now. Big fake from Delaval. She's got 2 options. Finds Zenz. Zenz to Baz. She's got LeBon with Harris in the end zone, but looks to dump to Mondio instead. Finds Zenz backwards. Zenz to Baz. Baz, Mondio, and there's a flood into the end zone. Oh,
I wanted it. Oh.
She's got it. It's a big hammer. Is it kept in bounds? There's a couple of differing calls. Yaka is calling it in, but it looks like Bunus might have had quite a good view on the sideline. We'll see if we can get another look.
Oh, out. That is out of bounds. Very clearly out of bounds.
Yeah, foot on the line. They can come and ask us if they want.
If they wanted to ask us, they could. That was foot on the line. That was out of bounds. Bunus justifiably giving her opinion there. She had the same look our cameras did, and they called that one correctly.
Well discussed, and high fives all around. Well, hand slaps, I guess, not high fives. So, shout. Another chance to break to start this game. Lolly. Swings. Tarason. Oh, she thinks about the big one to Marchesini. Puts up a medium one to Harris, but it's too big. Both teams are struggling a little bit at the moment.
Sloppy start. Getting the nerves out under the cameras. Julia Harris. A pickup on this team and a pickup in the booth this weekend.
Big shot goes up, but it will find Rabalia, who immediately swings to Tarason, and a timeout called. I think that is a smart call from Chiara Lolli.
Early days, long looking first point. Timeout in the first point of the game. And we're saying it's a good call by Chiara Lolli. That's saying a lot about the sloppiness that this game has started off with.
I mean, coming up on the 6-minute mark here, and 7 turns, so more than a turn a minute in this game so far. And it is worth noting, I'm not sure we have got the score of the Jinx Valkyria game. Last we heard was that Jinx were up. If anybody in the comments does know the score, that or Steph, perhaps your sources can let you know. If Jinx have won, Jinx lost to Shout but have beat Yaka, so we could have a potential 3-way tie depending on the result of this game. Either way, it's imperative for both of these teams to try and win by as much as possible in the eventuality of a 3-way tie where points difference will have to be taken into account. People in the comments, I'm afraid I am glued to the commentary desk here and not able to go and wander around and have a look at the other games, though I would dearly have loved to see the end of the Jinx Valkyria game. I am here with Steph, bringing you this live coverage on the Alt TV YouTube channel.
We're actually chained to our chairs. We're not allowed to leave.
Yeah.
If we commentate well enough, they feed us, but we can't leave these chairs.
Whenever you see shots of us, just know that there are manacles on our ankles. That's why they only show above the desk. So we've got Shout setting up in a horizontal setup. Yaka doing a lot of poaching in the lanes to make life more difficult. Marchesini to Harris. Harris looking for Lolly. Finds Rabalia instead. Doesn't find Rabalia, but she's bailed out by Bunus. Bunus to Harris. Harris, Sorrenti. Sorrenti to Lolly. Lolly looking long to Rabalia. It's going to be floating. It's going to be floating. An incredible catch! Incredible catch from Marchesini, stretching her hand all the way up into the sky. The disc seemingly magnetically attracted to her fingers, and what an opening point of this game.
Lolly winds up the backhand, floats one up for her young Bolognese receiver. Marchesini goes up, takes it high, off angle. She's been coming through the ranks for a while. Was at the CUSB Academy, fighting to get a place on this team. Has played minor roles in the past and is getting more and more time now, as we see.
And deservedly so, based on plays like that.
So we just got an update. It was actually given to us backwards once. And wait a minute, this is the score, but I think it's backwards. Let me check another source.
Oh
And it was indeed backwards. But officially, unofficially, it says, so Philippe Stéphane, the 1510 that it says is unofficially wrong. We think that has been input into Ultimate Central improperly, and that is a jinx victory, 15-12. If that is the case, which I'm getting my sources from the EUF right now, if that is the case, then this game has major bearing for Bologna to be able to pull this tournament out of thin air.
As a huge shot goes up, but it's going to be out of bounds, chased out by Pancotti.
Becker was the intended receiver, but the throw was never going to give it a chance. She did have some separation, but Pancotti probably would have had a chance to do it in any which way that throw went.
I think many of the throwers here would be longing for a straightforward upwind, downwind, considering the swirly nature of the winds on this pitch. So we will have Shout setting up their offense, and an incredibly short field turn bounces off the hands of Pancotti. Yaka immediately puts it to Baz, who throws it onto the floor, and Yaka are on the board for the first time this game.
Paula, the boss, Bass, cashes in, chucks it down. Quick, get this out of here, Spike. Let's get to the next point. I like the attitude. I like the play. Yaka, of course, would like nothing more than to spoil Bologna's party, them having a chance to win this tournament on home soil after giving up a loss to Valkyria early on in Universe Point. Yaka's also had a couple unsavory losses, and beyond avoiding one here, they'd love to beat their longtime rivals, Bologna, under our cameras.
They have done so once already in Bruges last October, but obviously everything is different when you're on home turf for Bologna here.
And that was the bigger win, we'll say, no matter what happens here. That was a peak end of season. That was a European Championship win. And it was a take away the crown from Bologna. So some good, thick layers of rivalry here, which we love to see.
Nothing like a matchup with history. So the pull will land almost exactly on the brick mark to be picked up. Bonfante. Now Beak. Back to Bonfante. A shot through the middle. High pressure. Chesky not able to hang on to it. Sorrenti.
So this just in. If CUSB wins, they win the tournament. Jinx did get that win, and the point differentials that all they need to do is win.
And it looks like they're going for it here. Zend putting her body on the line, but unfortunately not quite enough. Frangipane will pick up. Shot inside. With momentum, looking long. Oh, but it will fall to the ground in front of Bengi. A couple of shots from Shout so far have just been pushed onto the floor, shooting in this direction. So we will have Thyssen, one of the new German additions to this team, picking up. A little bit of help from the sideline to retrieve the disc. Moving the cone. Ooh, well marked out there. And a foot block by Anna Chesky. That is what she does well.
Chesky shutting the door, putting the boot down, and here they come.
Chesky with the bookends, a little bit of help, or rather a lot of help from Bonfante, and Shout have held.
And Chesky just won that battle against Thyssen twice in a row. Got the foot block, shut down the throw, beat her with a nice misdirectional cut, and got open on the open side for the easy score. Here's another look, but Chesky, big credit in that scoring sequence.
So after an initial missed throw, Shout are gifted Another opportunity courtesy of a huge foot block from Anna Chesky. That's the second foot block she's got on film now. I think she's trying to build a collection.
Imbert set to pull for the Bolognese. Both of these teams no strangers to the international edition player, pickup player, mercenary player, integrate in player. Handfuls on either roster.
Big pull is going to go out of bounds, be bricked by Baz. And a side stack look, although Mondio is now motioning to Castillo to come under. Cheeky hammer. On the sideline now with Becca. Little give and go, Mondio on the sideline now. The shout zone struggling to keep up with this fast movement. Becca. Stall count starting to rise. Gets it off to Eber. And a huge block.
Sorrenti cuts in the lane there. Farolfi had a look at it too.
So Shout really winning the game of D's thus far. We will have Siebert picking up.
So incoming info as well as Bologna start the long trek the other way quickly. Jinx did win. They topped the three-way tie, but Bologna can take that away.
So Farolfi puts up a huge shot. Marchesini once again, but not able to hang on to it this time. Mondio thinks about a huge shot of her own. Oh, well kept alive by Castillo. And there is the big one from Mondio looking for Baz. That's a connection built up over many years of playing together, and it is another score on the board for Yaka.
Paula, the boss Bass, in again, catching goals, as many as they've come for Yaka. So, update again, Jinx 15-12 over Valkyria. They top the division right now. If Yaka win this game, Jinx wins the tournament. If CUSB win this game, CUSB win the tournament.
That's going to be tough. You're fighting to keep your opponent out of first place, but to put somebody else in it.
Bad Skid Ranelagh. Bad Skid wins 15-12 in the fifth place game. And the off-site game, the black market match that we all expected the final was going to be, they had as an exhibition this morning, was 15-6. Not so much a fun game for Clapham. Have Clapham fallen from their pedestal? Are they a team of the past?
They clapped out.
They just got pumped by Bologna.
Well, I think Clapham's O-line, who are currently away, probably do not think so. But here we are. Huge shot goes up from Frangipane, looking for Chesky. And she's got two red shirts either side of her. Cannot bring it down. So Yaka with a chance to break back. After Shout took the first point with a break. Delaval. And a huge shot goes up despite the no big from the sideline. And an incredible layout from the number 84 shirt, who dumps it back and immediately looking to score. What a series of events.
What a play, what a layout. The Yaka receiver wearing the 84 jersey there is making some huge plays, took it upon herself, no conservation of greatness there, straight back to her feet and got open again in the corner. Yaka take the lead with a big break.
I believe that is Chloe Vallée, who has a light number 28 and a dark 84. So a timeout will be taken by Yaka. Just an opportunity for them to take stock, I suppose. And we will take a break along with them and bring you back the action when it is back in action.
We're in Bologna, elite invite, and it's such a great city to eat in, so much food. And if you like eating, I've got another treat for you. Why don't you go on Mama's Italian Classics, on Amazon, on Barnes & Noble, on any book depository. Check it out, grab yourself a copy, make yourself some nice food at home. The author and his mother did a fantastic job together. Go give it a try.
Welcome back to this final women's game. Not the women's final, but the final women's.
That's one handsome book author there, I'll tell you that.
Not that you're biased. I think you need that moustache back, Steph. Truly a thing of beauty. Bars with the big pull for Yaka. That is going to hang and hang. Be picked up by Pagliarani, and a travel is called. Beak will keep the disc as the travel, I guess, must be retracted then. Frangipane on the sideline calling for Lontane. The long options, please. Give her a deep cut. Oh, fakes the inside. Big arcing shot. Well received. Chesky underneath. Back to the number 32 shirt. And, oh, interception in the end zone. Just a bit misjudged. On their own end zone line. Big shot goes up to Castillo. Oh, streaking Beak, but unable to get it. Bars winds up. Bonfante closes the distance. Le Bon. Bit of a bump from Pancotti, but maintains. Mondio fakes off Castillo, fakes the big one. Under to Lebas. Lebas faking off Becker, looking to Castillo in the end zone. Oh, but it bounces off her hands. Looks like both her wrists made contact with it, but no joy for Yaka.
Giving one away in the back of the end zone. I like the way that sequence started off. The first throw with confidence. Meisel saw a bit of separation Castillo had, but on the far sideline, threw it with a lot of confidence. That Yaka attack looked good until the final throw. And now Bonfante will be accompanied back to the front line to give a chance back to the Bolognese shout squad.
So Shout once again with possession in their horizontal setup. Pagliarani. Disc in the middle of the pitch. Pagliarani receives it once again and looks long to a streaking Scazzieri, but she cannot close the distance and the disc will fall to the floor once more.
Sofia Scazzieri, a little bit frustration shown with her body language as she goes back to her now defensive assignments. Of course, her sister Ayden on the team, but still in recovery, but plans to be back for WCC.
Bars to Mondio. Mondio looking long. It's a low one. Castillo, the intended receiver, but that in itself will fall to the floor as the wind, what there is of it, seems to be providing a challenge on these longer throws. So Shout with another chance. I wouldn't be surprised to see a timeout call after we've had so many turns, but no. Bonfante picking it up, looking to get it moving. She finds Chesky underneath. Oh, It's a little bit of a hug happening there. Uncontested foul from
Becker.
Pagliarani. Motioning Beek under, and Beek,
Turfs it.
no other words for it, and it's a short field turn, opportunity to score for Yaka. Baz. They've got 3 handlers back and a vert stack in the end zone. Meiser, oh, but it's through the hands of Le Bon, one of the captains of this team. Shout picking it up, immediately looking long to Beek. Oh, and then Pancotti bounces off the hands. Beek tries to get a second attempt at it, but we have another turnover and Yaka another chance.
Mondio did good to plug up the reception area there and make that difficult to catch.
So Mondio, no long options this time. Oh my God, what an interception from Anna Chesky, hurdling over the leg of her Yaka player. And Shout have changed the momentum once again. Bonfante finds Beek underneath. Beek thinks about the end zone, instead swings to Pagliarani. Pagliarani to Bonfante. Pagliarani on the dump, making shapes. Pancotti. Oh, lot of contact there from Becker, who does not contest the foul.
Up.
High release. Too high. I think she thought she had backup there. And what a shame. That was a lovely series of events. Series of passes from Shout. Mondio picking up the disc for what feels like the 5th time this point.
A great start to that possession. Chesky's interception, ninja-like in the middle of the field. She jumped through to get it, but give it right back.
Becker looking upfield. She's got Lebas. Lebas running around. Finally receives it. Lebas to Baz. And the big shot goes up. It is unfortunately too big for Van Week, and an excellent effort, very close to the fence from Castillo. No regard for her own bodily safety, but it is unfortunately another turn despite that effort.
Which is exactly what we love to see for sensationalism, is putting that body on the line. I think Paula Bass had Van Veek in her sights. And overthrew it, and Castillo was on emergency mayday. Let's see if I can help out here. And even with the sensational effort, still just between the 2 receivers.
And a timeout call from Bonfante. Not an ideal place for anyone to want to call a timeout right on the opponent's end zone line, but we have now had 10 turnovers in this point. A mammoth affair. Both teams getting a chance to catch their breath, get some water, hydrate, and seem to try to come up with a plan.
With defensive efforts causing these changes so frequently in this point, we can still note the elite level of the defense that is causing a 10 turnover point. This one counts for more. Whoever scores this is going to get 3 goals. Wait a minute, that's unofficial. It will just feel like that as far as momentum goes. It will still only count for 1.
And if Yaka win this, it will be their 3rd on the trot, and that does count for something more. Obviously not in terms of what goes on the scoreboard, but in terms of a mental win, that would be a double whammy for Yaka.
Double whammy.
So somewhat muted chant from Yaka's D-line as they disperse. Sideline walking off the field. Shout still in the lab. There we go, huddling together. Bars on the screen, seeing if she can read their minds and see what offense is going to be.
And just a quick birthday shout out to the Cherie of Gwen Tessier. It's her birthday. Nathalie, happy birthday. Bon anniversaire.
I think an injury has been called by Yaka. You can, of course, call an injury in a timeout and make a substitution. The other team will have a chance to do so as well.
Time injury.
So horizontal setup from Shout, right on the end zone line they would rather not be on.
Beak in the flank there, all alone.
Flat mark from LeBon. Chesky back on that line. Oh, diving catch from Pagliarani keeps the disc alive. And a little bit more momentum. Scazzieri. Oh, fakes the big one. Pagliarani, but there's a pick call from Kajer Knudsen.
And back to Beek, the German player, picking up with Shout this season. Played with Valkyria, oddly enough, last year.
Pagliarani up the line. Some communication with Scazzieri, sees her get the disc. Oh, what a grab from Anna Chesky! She is a delight to watch. Gets the disc off to Bonfante, getting closer to the end zone now. And there it is, the score for Scazzieri. An end to this mammoth point, aided by that incredible grab from Anna Chesky. And Shout have got to be pleased with that one.
The big play by Chesky in the middle, again, making it happen. They needed to hold there after giving away a pair in a row against. All tied up at 3. Here's the replay. Scazzieri does good to get separation throw. Still could have been a little further in front, but it's actually a little bit of a in disgust spike. All right, we should have still made that easier. I'll take it, but I want it to be better.
Always striving for excellence. So, after a point which had more turns than almost all the rest of the points so far put together, not quite, but almost, we are all tied up at 3s with Yaka on serve. Both teams have had a break. Oh, Thyssen puts one quite far out in front of Delaval. Gets the high release off to Kajer Knudsen. Dumps to Thyssen. Shout back with their zone. Valley. Oh, it's too high for Meise. That is a relatively short field turn. We've got Siebert, another German import, picking up. Swings to Sandoval. And gives it right back to Siebert. She's got Farolfi on the far side. Turns back after looking upfield and no options presenting themselves. Sandoval back on disc. Shout being pushed back and an inside goes, but it's too high. Oh, Thyssen couldn't quite get the read, so it's snaffled up by Sorrenti, who finds Marchestini. Rabaglia. Rabaglia dumps back to Sandoval. Sandoval. Back to Marchestini. Farolfi. Couple meters outside the end zone now. She's got Sandoval up the line. Oh, huge bid from Valet, and it generates the turn. Did she get a hand to that? No. Oh, just
readjust.
Bouncing off the hands. Great bid, though, all round.
It was the defensive efforts on that mark that caused it, whether the touch came or not. It caused the rebalance.
Katharina Meise on the sideline. Delaval, big swing across, but it's snaffled away by Sandoval. There will be a discussion from Kajer Knudsen.
My initial reaction to that is that the turn should stand. There was contact. They were both in the same place. It was unavoidable, and Sandoval was in front with position while their shoulders clicked. Would love to have another look at that if it's possible. And if it's not, we'll just have to remember how it was in the first place and let them work it out on the field.
Yeah, I think I can hear Kara Knudsen saying she could feel Sandoval running into her, whereas she had kind of already started slowing down to get the disc. So Sandoval would not maybe have been able to make that play without causing contact, as indeed she did. But it will be contested and go back. Yaka will retain possession. Delaval on the sideline, the shout cup still very much in position. Sorrenti on the force. Katarina Meisel once again. Throws the scuba and Sorrenti Sandoval gets the block. Second time of asking. Rabaglia receives the disc from Farolfi. Swings to Siebert. Momentum slowing down a little. Oh, great effort on the mark from Valet. Sandoval. Gesturing to where she wants her cutters to run. Finds Marchesini. Just a few feet away from the score at this point. Rabaglia, breakside continuation. Oh no, Siebert just can't hold on to it.
Blinded a bit by her own teammate Loli in front of her, but couldn't squeeze the hands.
So Delaval, CUSB have set up their cup once again very quickly. We're on this near sideline once again. Delaval fakes a big one, holsters. Floaty one brought down by Thyssen, who finds Knudsen through the cup, reaching up to grab it. She's got Dayan running into the end zone and Valet. Dumps instead to Thyssen. Not a lot of options for Thyssen. Delaval presents herself on the break side. Staring upfield, Farolfi in the lane. Swings to Thyssen. Big round goes up. Very close to the end zone is Meise. Thinks about the inside. Swings instead to Thyssen. Thyssen's trying to find Vele, and indeed she does find her as Yaka holds.
Which is a lead taking hold. Nice resistance there from Yaka. I thought Sandoval 2 in a row. Those last 2 takeaways are the one that turned into a foul, and then she took it away in the same place. I could feel some Bolognese momentum building, but good mental toughness by the ladies from Noisy-le-Sec to be able to weather the storm, move it back the other way. Meisel, Thyssen in the middle there, making it all work to dictate the pace of this game and stay ahead. 4-3 is the score for Yaka.
And the goal scorer there, Chloe Valet, she used to be a competitive skier. Not really a sport that one sees a transition from to ultimate very often, although they are both hard on the knees, so I guess they have that in common. But she's only been playing a few years. She is not got as many years as some of the players on this Yaka team have under her belt, but you certainly wouldn't know it to see her play.
Throws herself around with reckless abandon. Love to see it.
We certainly do. And Yaka coming down with their flat handler marks. A 3-3-1 zone. Pagliarani gets the swing. Yaka marks allowing the swing to go. Bonfante, Franz Frangipane. Pagliarani. Oh, well held on to. Yaka making excellent use of the width of the pitch. These handler marks forcing that big slow swing over to the other side of the pitch. And there, through the middle to Frangipane. They're off to the races. Yaka finally closing down. Pagliarani with plenty of time to catch that. Frangipane. Oh, fakes the inside. Swings instead, and Pagliarani can't hold on to it. She even dives to the floor to try and get it on the second attempt. But Yaka have a chance to break and extend their lead.
That one hit Pagliarani right in the hand. Tough one to watch go to ground.
Baz finds Mondial. Big space in the middle. Oh no, but this time it's Van Week that can't hold on to it. And Shout immediately shoot long, but it is too long for Scazzieri.
Well, if we're going to have a series of turnovers, you might as well at least put them on the other side of the field.
Very true, very true. So Yaka once again. Baz will be looking for Mondial once more, I'm sure. Baz motioning her players under. They do have a deep stack play. Held on to this time by Van Week.
Beautifully executed.
Finds Mondial. Mondial on the sideline, fakes the round. Scazzieri thinks that one is gone. Stall count is rising. She puts a big floaty one up to Le Bon, who receives it with ease. To Le Baz, and that one will not be intercepted by Bengi, but instead a score for Kaja Knudsen. And Yaka high-pitched reeing as they walk onto the pitch and celebrate together.
Elise Becker loving the reception end on that goal. It's as though they've played catch together, those three. There's the throw from Mondial to Laborn that opened it up. Nanu, as she's known, Laborn sends it into the end zone, and Elise Becker, three long-time Yaka components coming together for the score.
So a long point. We have had several of these so far this game. And Steph, I believe you've been given an update. Oh, no, excuse me, we have not. We will try and bring scores from other games for you throughout the pitch, throughout the grounds even, as we get them, but we are reliant on helpful volunteers. So Yaka to pull. You can see the heat shimmering against the yellow flowers in the field behind this pitch. It is getting very warm here in Bologna right now.
It's heating up. As we started this tournament with back-to-back Bologna games, we will end this tournament with back-to-back Bologna games. This one here in the women's division, 5-3, the French staying ahead right now from Noisy-le-Sec.
Chesky on disc, looking upfield, finds Pancotti, who almost finds, or indeed does find Beek, but Beek cannot hang on to the disc. Yaka with a chance to extend their lead even further after that break and go on a bit of a run.
Beek didn't know whether to go up or keep chasing and get it on the second effort, and she went halfway and watched it fall.
Delaval with not a lot of options upfield. Thyssen eventually getting free. Oh, and that was intended for Dabin, but Frangipane says no. It's Frangipane to Chesky with little fanfare. CUSB hold their offense at the second time of asking.
CUSB get away with one there. The drops having substantial negative effect at this stage, as they would always, but CUSB taking advantage on a second try there. Bring it back to within one, 4-5. The rivalry, Noisy versus Bologna. Noisy-le-Sec, of course, a suburb outside of the Parisian periphery, northeast side, would touch the periphery in the 20th arrondissement. And they are, of course, the proud home of Yaka Ultimate, and their compatriot men's side is no good, who have a nice looking team put together this year, but they were not able to qualify for this invite. So we'll hope we get to see them sometime soon under the Ulti TV cameras. I know I'll see a little bit of them soon, no matter what.
A nice looking team, though you say so yourself.
If I dare say.
So Lebas finds Baz, finds Castillo. Castillo being put under intense pressure from Rabalia, but finds Mondio. Mondio, she's got Baz deep. It's her favorite target, one of her favorite targets. It's going to be a battle, which Lebas will claim she would have won had there not been a foul, and it is uncontested. Contact there, not allowing her to hang on to the disc. So Lebas on the end zone line. She's got Becca. And Becca has got the disc after an incredible bid to keep it up. Both hands clutching it, making sure the bottom edge does not hit the floor. And Yaka score to make it 6-4.
Elise Becker, no stranger to the splash two-handed layout. Not the first time we've seen it from her. Not the last time we're gonna. This one cashes in for a goal from her Dutch compatriot, regular compatriot, Paula Bass.
Oh.
Nice bailout play. Bass probably could have put a bit more spin on it and brought it back to her more, but she knows Becker will make a play for her.
Legs akimbo there on that bid. And I think either a timeout has been called, or because these women's games are 80 minutes long, this may be a half-time.
I am going to make a wager that this is indeed a halftime.
I would be in agreement with that. So I think we will take a break along with the players, and we'll be back with the action once it resumes.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, Ultimate TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and fund our work
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Looking back at the first half, a standout performance by Chloe Vallée. Here's one, oh, when she went to ground there, what an incredible catch. Vallée and gets open again. Meisel feeds her in the corner. She is having a game for herself. Yaka up 6-4, sticking it to the hosts. And why not do it again? Diving on the mark. Vallée, stand out. Time and time again. Every time she gets involved, she seems to do something good. There's another goal. Chloé Vallée and Yaka making a case for himself, trying to spoil the party, so to speak, for Bologna, coming into this knowing or assuming that with a win they would have a chance to win back this tournament after giving away a loss early on. And Yaka like, okay, yeah, we may have lost one early too, but we're Yaka, we're the champs. You still got to go through us. And if you're going to get to the other side, we're going to make it as difficult as possible. And right now, a 2-goal lead is certainly making it difficult.
For sure.
Valé.
A win is a win no matter what, and even if Yaka know or don't know that the outcome of this match won't put them in the one spot, they're going to want to beat their opponents no matter what happens. So we're back with Shout, who are on defense to start this half, now on offense, and an early overthrow from Bengi. Frangipane tries to rescue it, but Yaka now on offense. Mondio skips backwards to the disc as Shout set up their zone.
Those calf muscles flexing away on her backward skips.
Gotta flex them for the cameras. Quick little bit of give-go work. Thyssen clearing out. Delaval swings to Mondio. She had eyes on Castillo, but swings back instead to Delaval, who finds Valé. Who else in the middle? Mondio receives a backward pass. She's got 2 swing options. Thyssen now. She's got Castillo on the sideline. Takes a little pop to Mondio instead. Thyssen returns. Valé is standing laterally, but Thyssen and Mondio only have eyes for each other at the moment. Once again, keeping the disc moving, resetting the stall count, and it's an IO shot, which 2 separate layouts from CUSB will force the turn. Valé, I think, thought about trying to go to ground to rescue it, but was moving away from her too fast.
Bingy, bangy, bangy, making the play, throwing the body on the line.
Frangipane picking the disc up. IO shot goes to Scazzieri. Little bit crowded around the disc now. Stall count rising.
Oof.
It's going up. It's going down to Delaval. Yaka get their possession back. Mondio scuba to Delaval.
Flipper.
Valé. She's got Castillo in the end zone. Castillo has the disc in the end zone. And Yaka extend their lead to 3 points over Shout.
Valé again getting herself involved, that time with the assist. The scoop pass over top from Mondio over to Delaval, another very familiar situation. Bologna calling the timeout. And Yaka regenerating some of that confidence and momentum that they dominated with in Bruges and the win they took to take the championship in the first place.
Indeed, and I think one of the things that Yaka do so well is they have that solid base of players, that solid core, but every player is able to step up and do anything on the team. You know, Valé is a cutter, but she's able to put up those big hucks. You know, it's not a superstar team that relies on a couple of players. Every single one is solid.
Nobody comes for the ride. If you're on the roster, you pull your weight. At WCC level, at European Championship level, you expect that to be the way. You expect that to be the selection minimum. And it seems that we have that case here on both teams. But Yaka's showing it right now.
Sideline growing here on the show pitch at the Elite Invite. Lots of sun hats out, people watching the show.
After a long weekend of Ultimate, there's nothing better, well, than playing in the final. But if you didn't make it, kicking back, kind of lying to yourself, saying, oh, I'm pretty happy to just kick off the cleats anyways. I don't mind not playing in the final. That's a lie. But you can enjoy yourself nonetheless. Have the sun, have a cold, relaxing beverage, chat up your teammates and opponents, and of course, enjoy the show. The big match, the best 2 teams, the last 2 standing. In this case, not exactly. But you know what I'm getting at.
I do indeed. I do indeed. So Yaka leading Shout by 3 points. We had a short half at 6, or an early half rather, at 6. Coming up on the hour mark, about 25 minutes left of this game to play.
7-4 is a big lead. CUSB is down. They need, I mean, a hold is essential at this stage.
Big pull. Will be caught by Pancotti, who finds Frangipane. Chesky's going deep, but then she's coming under. Receives it there despite Valet doing her best efforts to get there in time. Excellent defensive work from Yaka. Not a lot of options for Chesky, but she finds Bengi. Gets it moving once again. Chesky on the disc. Marchesini finds the number 13 shirt, Bunus, who sneaks one out onto the open side. It's a clean hold for Yaka. That's exactly what they need right now.
CUSB put that one in. Bunus with a strong piece of work through her. Does her job hanging on tight on the goal line and recomposing to shoot the simple shot, but the goal out in front of Sorrenti, she was well defended by Valet, of course, who's been having a game, but strong, confident throw for goal. Keep it in front. No drama, mama. No drama, llama, as the kids' book reads. And they keep it within 2. 5-7.
It looked like Delaval, she was standing on the right side of Sorrenti, but Sorrenti ran past her, Delaval not able to change her hips in time and keep up. So Shout down but not out. We do sometimes hear of Italian teams kind of getting in their heads, being quite passionate when they're up and down mentally when they're down.
Stopping a downhill steamroller when they get going, but yeah, pushing otherwise uphill when they drop those heads.
Mondio gets eyes on Becca. Becca finds Van Week underneath. Not a lot of options for Van Week. Back to Becca. Mondio in the end zone, clears out for Castillo. And there is a pick called on Le Bon, who will walk back. Becca will have 6 seconds. Resets to Esther Van Week. High, snagged with one hand, finds Mondio, who's come out of the end zone to try and get the assist. She puts it up over the hands of Bunus, gathered up by Le Bon, and that is a lovely break for the score.
Mais oui, c'est comme ça. Ici, c'est Noisy. The French team celebrating, staying ahead, 8-5. Giving it to Bologna right now. They are confident. Their offensive possessions look very steady, and the pressure is most certainly on the Bologna outfit now to not only get that hold but find a defensive spark.
There's a lot of glum faces on Shout right now, some slightly dampened body language as they walk to the line. They've been here before, they know what it's like to lose to Yaka in a final.
They hate it.
They do not like it. They really do not. It is a job for them now to try and avoid tasting that defeat once more.
It is their job to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. Starting with a hold, and then as we said, that defense has to start doing something. If nothing else, just making it more difficult for Yaka for a point or two and getting to a stage where they can, well, one, get a turn and convert. But get the hold. It's the offensive pressure, but it's the defensive mentality if they're ever going to get in this game.
So first out of bounds pull that I believe we've seen so far this game. And some really good pulls. Oh no, we had one.
That could have been the last game.
That was the last game.
Even yesterday. Isn't it all meld together at this stage?
So much frisbee. Bengi finds Bonfante. Yaka poaching off the marks, trying to make that shot to the open side difficult. Kaio Knudsen loses her feet but manages to catch up to Frangipane. A little bit of travelling from Frangipane here. And it will be a turn too far out in front of Ilaria Bonfante. Yaka immediately picking up.
All sorts of missed assignments on defense there, but they've caught up.
Dayan finds Delaval. Delaval looking for Thyssen. And Valle streaking up the line into the end zone, but it's the reset that goes to Meisel. Oh, huge bid from Thyssen, but it's an overthrow from Meisel. And Shout will have another go.
Another precious go here for sure.
Scazzieri finds Bonfante. Bonfante shaking the disc in frustration that the options are not there. She tries to throw Frangipane open, but the wind has other ideas, and it's another short field turn and another chance for Yaka. Meisel, Chesky says no, Valet, you will not have another point on the stats board. Frangipane now on the far sideline. Oh, big effort from Delaval, does not get the block. Looking around, trying to find options. Finds Beek. Beek to Scazzieri. Scazzieri finds the upfield option and a big shot, but Thyssen gets the block this time in the end zone, and some fantastic end zone defense from both teams on display right now.
Bit of hesitation on that throw there. It was available one throw early, was the Beek, the Bengi deep. Scazzieri put it away, but then the next throw from 32, she hesitated and gave it late, and Thyssen had a chance to get in the middle and break it up because of it. Here it is. There it was.
Zenz. Big fake. Says no to Valet. Finds Dayan. Dayan looking for Zenz again, but Zenz is clearing out. She's got Delaval wide open. Oh, but instead under pressure, and the big open shot goes. Despite a lot of pressure, Zenz finds it, and then to Kaio Knudsen, who does a very casual little spike, and another long turn-filled point, and again it is Yaka who gets the score.
Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living. It's the score line as well. Yaka celebrating with their traditional Ici c'est Noisy. This is Noisy-le-Sec. This is our home. We're taking it away, they say. And it seems very much the case as they extend their lead back to 4 and are putting their foot down as we see a timeout taken as well by Yaka.
Specifically by Felix Nemo, who has been doing a great job so far organizing this tournament and also somehow coaching Yaka at the same time. I think he must have a clone or a body double, something, because that's a lot to do in one weekend.
Wearing a couple hats.
Hello to everybody in the comments on YouTube, in the chat. Do subscribe if you're watching and have not subscribed already. Ring the bell, like the video, do all the things. And if you've been enjoying the coverage so far this weekend and would like to financially support us, you can do so in a one-time fashion on our website, lt.tv. Or if you'd like to contribute monthly, you can find us on Patreon and sign up to a certain tier. Some tiers will also guarantee your team a streaming slot.
Team tiers.
Team
Get your team
tiers.
to support. Show it with your support. Show it with the level of your contribution, and we find ways to keep you online more, your team under the cameras more.
And also, The more money we get, the better quality coverage we can bring you, better equipment, fewer technical difficulties, potentially more fields being streamed. We only have one this weekend.
You think if we get more money, they're going to get better commentators?
Nah, they've already got the best.
Yeah, we're just working for a generous wage, of course, to make sure that this comes to you, because we love Ultimate so much.
I mean, I was holding up a sign outside the airport saying, "We'll work for beer."
Well, that will not be troublesome if that's what we desire.
So, Mondial to pull. Big one. Will float past the brick mark. Pagliarani centers. Rabaglia clearing out. Sorrenti. Oh, incredible pickup from Bengi. Somehow managing to hang on to that one. Centers to Sorrenti. Floats one over the flat handler marks. Gosh, Pagliarani under a lot of pressure from Van Week. And Yaka melt into match defense as Shout makes short work of those flat handler marks. It's Bengi. She's looking for Sorrenti. Sorrenti has to leave her feet, but leave her feet she does. And wow, what a workhorse was Arianna Pagliarani in this point. Every other or every third, and Shout have a well-deserved 6 to Yaka's 9.
Pagliarani working hard. Sorrenti, one of the all-time unsung heroes of this team. A lot of the credit goes to some of the other names, the Scazzieris, the Farolfis, and so on, Cheskis. But Sorrenti does it time and time again. She's there. She gets the wins. And another shout out to Bengi, who threw that pass, but has been making spectacular plays, both out of her hand. There's the goal. Nice looking goal. Both out of her hand and more so athletically. She's a big, tall player on that team. You'd think she's just going to be an upfield cutter when you see bodies like that on teams like this. But watching her throw there, she was doing it on both sides of the disc.
Not an easy catch either. She had to stretch right up. You can see the frustration from Lebar there, clapping her hands. She could have had a little bit of help D from potentially Castillo, whose player wasn't doing much. But then again, if that happens, there's always the inside shot that can go. Sorrenti staying on to make the pull, which will be fielded by Delaval. Chooses not to send it to Thyssen. Oh, gets through the cup to Valet, receives it right back. Looked like she was looking for Daban, but holsters. Valet once more. Who gets one across, it's floaty. Thyssen's hat falls off, but she keeps the disc. Delaval. She's got Thyssen open. She's trying to find something through the cup. Breaks instead to Kaja Knudsen. Pancotti chasing Thyssen. She wanted the swing to Valet. Gets the pop off to Delaval instead, who finds Valet on the far sideline.
Space now.
Oh no! That's going to be a little bit behind for Delaval. Pancotti picking up, getting the disc, moving to Marchesini immediately. Bunus finds Chesky. Sorrenti. Chesky under a lot of pressure from two defenders. Frangipane on the disc. She's looking for Chesky on the break side. She's looking for Marchesini on the break side. Marchesini trying to find an opening, dumps it back to Pancotti. And there it is, Rabaglia with the break. And Shout are delighted with that one.
Shouting their way onto the field. A lot of sticky fingers there. Marchesini made a heck of a catch. Offhand, twisted her hand around, thought she was in and wasn't, and still kept her cool. Dumped it back 2 plays later. Rabaglia for the goal. Everybody gets involved there. There's the goal again. Yaka not making it easy, but this is what CUSB needs to scratch their way back, get the hold, give themselves a chance for a break.
And a real team effort there. I mean, it's almost a tautology. This is a team sport, but you know, there are times when sometimes only a couple players touch the disc in a point, but that last point, it felt like everyone was getting involved, as you say, everyone helping out to get that disc in the end zone. Valet and Delaval having a little bit of a conversation on the mid of the pitch. I guess just trying to figure out what the other one wanted on that last defensive point. So Seabird to pull for Shout. It's going to be on the near sideline. Liba picking up. Shout's cup once again. Still count rising, dumps back to Mondial. Looking upfield for options, not a lot presenting themselves. She's in a sticky situation.
Get yourself out.
Yeah, gets herself out and gets the disc straight back. She's looking for Baz. Baz receives it even though the sun didn't arise. She puts ones up to Castillo. Oh, and a great read from Seabird. She got herself in the right position, and Castillo unable to get her hands around that one.
Baz, disgusted with herself, went down to her knees. Good to see. Mondial ran right over top of her, grabbed her jersey and picked her up. We're not done this point. Keep going. Put it behind you, she says.
Focusing on the here and now. And now Marquesini on the disc. Inside shot to Bunus. Number 17, Lolly. Siebert. Looked like she wanted Bunus in the end zone. And a defensive run through.
Great ISO between those two, Bunus and Becker on the other side of the disc. They are running hard against each other.
Lebas swings to Le Bon. Lebas gets it right back. Mondial wants it on that near sideline once again. We've been here before. And well kept in. Yeah. I mean, it was right in front of us.
It was right in front of us. I thought it was out. 2 feet were down.
Oh, I thought it was in. I thought it was in.
Look, you thought it was in.
I thought it was in, but
I thought 2 feet were down at the same time. We're split decision here. It's up to them. Let's see what they say on the field.
It would be great if we could have another look at that.
Here's another.
Oh, no, there isn't.
They're discussing 1 foot in, 1 foot out, which was certainly the case. It's a matter of whether the out foot was down before the catch or not.
This might be a case where a contest is the fairest option. We've got Milan taking over the camera to see if he can show the replay. We've got differing opinions, and I think
going back is probably the best bet.
Yeah. Maybe one day we'll have a replay of that.
Marquesini getting upset, and Van Wyk thought it was directed at her for a second, and she said, no, I'm just freaking out in general, not at you.
Nothing personal, just business. Big shot from Mondial. Siebert has position, but Baz has the eyes, and she puts one up to Castillo. This one will be received, and after a little bit of discussion, Yaka get a beautiful score.
That one she puts on a dime. She lines up the bow and arrow celebration. Indeed, it was a bullseye on a platter into the hands of Castillo, and they stay in front 10-7.
We'll see again the big shot from Mondial and a valiant effort from Seabat, but it just sails past her fingers. Baz sets herself to set up that score. And Shout now running out of time. There is coming up on 6 minutes left until the cap. They have 2 points to make up, and Yaka with the offensive point now. Apologies, 3 points to make up.
They got some work to do, them Bolognese ladies.
A little bit of discussion in the chat about what will happen depending on who wins this. Do we have a definitive answer yet, Steph?
Rock, scissors, paper.
Yeah.
At the end of this one will determine the champion for the presentation. It does seem that our earlier game speculations are wrong. And without taking the drama out of this, no matter what the result, Jinx will win. The result of this will have effect on other seedings from 2 till 4.
Chesky underneath, looking for and finding Pancotti. Pancotti, nothing upfield, resets to Pagliarani. Pagliarani wants the inside to Chesky, resets instead to Frangipane. Frangipane finds Chesky. Dumps back to Frangipane. Pagliarani running into the dump position. Cheeky little reset, Pagliarani, back to Frangipane. Inside once again to Chesky, lots of movement, and there it is, not quite. And a bounce back from Bonfante across the front of the end zone, opens up the space. Shout still clawing, still fighting.
Hanging around, staying in it. The Yaka defense there, pretty good, nice tight match defense. Bologna did a good job keeping their cool, nothing fancy, taking the open spaces. Frangipane, Kiki, and of course Anna Chesky, the once defensive player or honorable mention defensive player of the year, now playing O-line and getting it done before Bonfante cashes in the goal. O-line's going to take a break, and as we said before, they got to give them the opportunity to get this D-line on the field. Now you're on the field, D-line. Spark. Your team needs you right now. Layouts, get the bid, get the turn, and then let's see what you can cash in. It's got to come. This is where the energy comes now. Savage dog style defense.
Terrason with the pull. She started pulling yesterday and they've stuck her on pulling duty as she did such a good job of it. Mondio, immediate shot through the middle. Not a problem for Baz to read. She finds Castillo as she did previously. Kayo Knudsen in the end zone. But lots of white shirts in the way now for Castillo. Lead pass up to Mondio. Not much that Gaia Pancotti can do about that. And that must have been, what, 4, 5 passes?
That was quick. The floaty one from Mondio early in the sequence, there was maybe going to be a chance on that. It was to a good spot, but it did hang in the air quite a while. But as soon as that was caught to Paula Bass, it looked like that was, there was 4 on 2. And even though the defense did catch up, they just never regathered. Castillo finishing the job here, defense catching up, but gets it in the hands of Mondio. Pancotti's late peel-off help, not gonna do anything, and we've got ourselves another timeout called by Yaka.
So this point potentially will be the one to decide the cap for this game. So if Yaka breaks, we will have a game to 13. If Shout hold, it will be a game to 12. Yaka obviously wanting to put as much distance between them and the Italians as possible.
Yaka obviously wanting the opposite.
So we're going to show you a quick ad and we will be back after the break.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, LTV, the best in the world.
Become a member and fund our work
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
We are back with what could be the last few minutes of this final women's game here in sunny Bologna. The home team, CUS Shout, taking on Yaka from Noisy-le-Sec. Yaka up a couple breaks so far.
So Anders Christiansen, if Yaka wins, Yaka versus Valkyria, final, correct? No, incorrect. There is no final. It is a points tabulation that will declare the finalist, the champion.
And an interception by Kaja Knudsen means Yaka are maybe looking to make that cap 13, and Valle leaves her feet to save possession, as she has done so many times before. Yaka off to the races. Meise on the sideline looking for Thyssen up the line. She's got two options up the line. One of them will score. It is Jean de Laval. And that is, I believe, by our clock. I don't know if the scorekeeper's clock is the same as our clock.
We'll listen for whistles. They don't whistle that often during these tournaments, but we'll have a listen now. And Yaka just in the driver's seat, and even more so in the heads of Shout. Shout is remembering what happened last time. They don't like it. Valle is making it even more annoying for them as she lays out and makes play. And here's Meisel, the missile, winding up at a replay before she finds Delaval open for the goal, getting ahead of Frangipane.
And Thyssen as well. It looked like Thyssen was heading for the end zone, but Delaval had other ideas. Only a few points sort of left available to score in these games, and Delaval wanted one of them. So a 4-point difference. And if cap has not gone already, it will definitely go in this point.
Boss with a big old outside in backhand pull that just lands in and bounces on the line. Paula wondering, are you sure? I thought that was it. I was wondering as well.
Yeah, on the line, so technically out. Running up to the brick mark, which is indicated on the floor with a red spot.
Permanently there, as though this field was made for ultimate.
Almost as though. Bengi on disc, stall count rising. Finds Scazzieri, who swings to Sorrenti. Gets the round off to Bengi, swings to Rabaglia. Rabaglia, big arcing throw, which is going to be too high for Marchesini, and Yaka with a chance either to make the cap 14 or to win. We are not quite sure, but either way, lots at stake.
Marchesini not happy with herself, showing her frustration, vocalizing it, and as Yaka goes the other way.
Baz wants the big one, and she puts it to Castillo. And Castillo receives!
Castillo, the Colombian, has been making herself a presence all game long in the deep set, blazing speed, sure hands, easy, c'est noisy, and that looks like it is game, set, match. Yaka take the win. And this whole division gets unbalanced, but it will be Jinx that take the championship. And after that, we're not even sure yet. Valkyria second place, Yaka third, and Bologna Shout dropped to fourth with that loss in the round robin tournament in the women's division here at the Elite Invite.
So we will have all that confirmed shortly at the presentation ceremony. Coming up next is the open final, not the open final that everybody was expecting. Clapham falling to Wall City from Berlin, who will take on the hosts La Fotta. And we'll see here some of the highlights from that game.
Wall City don't seem to care, wouldn't seem to care too much that they're wrecking the party of expectations. They're happy to be spoiling their way in there. Knocking off Clapham. Who wouldn't like beating Clapham?
Certainly true. So I think we're going to take a short break and we will be back in a minute or so with the presentation ceremony. For Steph Rapazzo, I've been Ali Thomas and we will see you shortly.
Buono, David! Hai un disco buono o un disco marcio? Cioè, ma è rovinato? No, va bene, va bene.
Testing. Tell me when we're live. And we are joined here post Yaka victory. I'm joined by Coach Nemo. Static shock on the grounds. I just have a question. How are you feeling after that performance?
It was a great team performance. We were really happy. We wanted to start with great energy into this game, and we really delivered. We worked throughout this whole weekend on specific things, and overall we gave a quick summary of what we've learned before this game, and I think we saw everything come together to this game. And we know that CUSB is a strong opponent, obviously. Yaka played them in the final last year. This is my first season with them. I am super proud of the Maquinas, and yeah, long road ahead, but it looks good.
Thank you very much, and I shall let you go and put on your many other hats. I understand you're a very busy man at this tournament, so thank you for your time.
Thank you.
The ultimate things in life are free, and we're keeping it that way. Subscribe to keep up with the latest games, tournaments, and community content. Share it with your team and friends, and drop a like to help spread Ultimate to more people. Spread the word, spread the love. Ultimate.tv.
CUSB.TV.